Hey there, if you're listening to this podcast right now, you're probably into cryptids and monsters. Well, if you have a creative spark, you can always join us in our first ever Supernatural Selection zine project. For 2024, we are doing cryptid encounters, where you can draw or write a encounter with a cryptid of your choice, and we'll put it in the zine. The current submission window is from early January to late June. If you're interested in finding out more, you can always go to supernaturalselectionpod.com/zines. That is ZINES. Now back to the show.
Yeah, so stand-up is fun to watch and hard to do. Hello, and welcome to Supernatural Selection. I'm your host, Kevin. With me this week are Mike the Skeptic. Mike, how are you doing today?
Well, Kevin, that's the opposite of you, which watching you stand up is hard to watch, but easy to do.
Damn, son. Damn. That ain't how you're doing. How are you doing, bitch?
I'm fine, I guess.
Okay.
He's sassy is what he is.
Fine enough to have a pithy comment.
Okay, that's fair.
Yeah.
Well, how is Mr. David Davis? We have David.
Oh, I'm significantly less sassy than Mike right now. So
Yeah.
I'm feeling fat and sassy.
It's too hot. Like I feel fat all the time, but it's too hot to be sassy right now.
Oh, I've been there.
Like for those of you who tracked the number of times I mentioned this on the show, like I am recording again this week without a shirt on because it is too hot. So
This is becoming a very Henry Zabrowski podcast, isn't it? This is you're a shirtless little goblin.
yeah, I may or may not see him as my kindred spirit or something.
Yeah, no, I gotcha. Which is funny because I'm the one going off the deep end here. Mm-hmm. So, it's a weekend weird, and if you guys don't mind, I would like to go first.
Okay.
Because this is big news. You know how we'll do updates on previous stories. This week, I've got a bit of an update on an episode I never thought would get an update. Fucking A Brief History of Dumbass Time.
Oh, lordy.
So, now, for those of you who listen to our show, all 10 of you, and Mike, who was on that episode, during A Brief History of Time, we talked about the conspiracy that the Dark Ages did not happen. And, of course, we talked about Time Cube. But the third subject I didn't have a lot of information on, and that was what they call the new chronology. The basic idea being that there is a Russian-sponsored conspiracy that Russia used to rule the entire world, and that giant Russian civilization was wiped out in a mud flood, and it is a giant conspiracy from the rest of the world to stop people from knowing that Russia's like the best.
Now, if it was Russia, it should have been a goulash flood.
You would think, but needless to say, Putin loves this one.
Russia number one. Russia number one.
Exactly. So, this first article I have is from a website called angrywhitemen.org, tracking white supremacy. So, kind of a watchdog site. Mm-hmm. In the article, Stu Peters promotes claim that the Capitol, as in the Capitol in Washington, was built by a race of giants. It's from May 21st, 2024. And, holy God. All right, guys, here we go. Just throw in as I go, of course. White nationalist Stu Peters.
Blah.
Yeah.
I'm throwing up as you go.
Yep. All right. Anyway, Stu Peters recently unveiled the trailer for his network's latest propaganda film titled Old World Order. It promotes the so-called Tartarian Empire conspiracy theory, which posits that buildings such as the Chicago Federal Building and the U.S. Capitol were built by a race of technologically advanced giants who were wiped out in a great mud flood.
They're so technologically advanced. Why would a mud flood, wipe them out?
They're giants.
Yeah, they're giants and technologically advanced.
Oh no!
A mud
it's up
flood
to my
seems
ankles.
pretty. Yeah, it seems like
They got stuck and they starved to death.
Yeah, no, I mean, that's just like the worst way to go.
Do you
I
think?
know.
Do you think like mud flood is a euphemism for like dehydration because of diarrhea?
I think it could be. Now, this is going to get bad real quick in this second paragraph/sentence. And any evidence for this race of giants was, of course, either destroyed or covered up by wealthy elites, such as the Rockefellers and the Rothschilds.
Of course.
Already got the Jews in.
Yep.
So, the trailer shows photos of ornate buildings, including the Milan Cathedral, the Chicago Federal Building, the U.S. Capitol, and the Palace of Justice of Brussels. It then cuts to various people who claim that these buildings appear too large to have been built by people of our height and were actually built by the Pryor civilization. I wonder if they mean Richard Pryor.
So
Yes.
their whole concern is that these buildings are far too large for a normal man to reach the top.
And, well, part of the thing is that they're all the oldest pictures of them are like these immense, beautiful buildings surrounded by mud. And that is the basis of the entire goddamn thing. I read up on this. So, after the trailer...
Have these people never seen a construction site before?
No.
That's what a construction site looks like. You build any building, and it's surrounded by mud.
So
I know.
So how
Fucking idiots.
how did those buildings survive the mud flood?
Well, they're buildings, obviously.
Well,
and
What about the mud
no,
bloods?
because apparently, like, I don't know. This is just stupid anyway.
we're going to get there. We're
Okay.
going to get there. There's more about it. Now, after the trailer, Peters interviews the film's director, Sean Hibbler, a flat earther and 9/11 truther, who frequently reposts Peters' bigoted content on Twitter. Hibbler claimed that the film serves as an introduction to this psyop. Because while people may have heard of Tartaria, it was only, quote, one of many empires that were hidden from us. He explained that we didn't build the buildings highlighted in the film, but rather found them. Quote, if you look at some of these older buildings in your community, we'll actually admit some stuff, Stu. It'll say, founded in 1898, Hibbler said. Okay, all right, I'll take that. But then when you go on their website, it says that it was constructed in a year. The timelines don't make sense, Stu. As applied to buildings, the word founding refers to when the foundation was constructed. Mm-hmm. When Peters asked Hibbler why this was being covered up, Hibbler claimed that elite figures, of course they do, want to prevent us from knowing about the existence of giants and their technological achievements, particularly being able to harness energy from the ether. Ether, for those that don't know, is a theoretical universal substance believed during the 19th century to act as the medium for transmission of electromagnetic waves. According to Hibbler, old photographs of buildings actually show, quote, transmitters on top, which operated by pulling in the energy from the ether, a form of, quote, wireless energy. The second reason for the cover-up, he said, was to keep people from believing in creationism.
Okay.
Wait, what?
Yep. Quote, but real quick on the giants, you can't have Darwinism, you can't have evolution, evil-ocean, you can't have Big Bang with giants, Hibbler said. We're supposed to be coming from monkeys. We can't have giants. So they created this whole system for many, many facets. It wasn't just one reason. Many reasons. technology, giants, covering up the fact that there was previous civilizations here before us that possibly had more technology than we do now. I went straight on fucking Phantoms and Monsters there. Anyway, but what about the photos of buildings from the 20th century while they were clearly under construction? Hibbler told Peters that those were all faked, too, thanks to the photoshopping skills of the Detroit Publishing Company, a defunct photographic publishing firm that specialized in producing color postcards. They would actually go in a dark room, in the negative room back in the day, and they would etch and mask things, he said. They would take a building and put it here. They would take a building out and remove it and make a white sky there, and it was called Vanilla Sky. This is how they manipulated our history. And then there's like a super long quote of the interview to round that out. I need to point out that the giant thing is also, there's a conspiracy that the Smithsonian Institute has been burying and destroying evidence of a race of giants since its founding. Of course. So this goes into that. Also, the dude in the interviewing is wearing a WWE NWO t-shirt.
So is he like not a fan of Andre the Giant?
That's a good question. But the point is, this is a Russian conspiracy started to basically curry favor with Big Daddy Putin. And unfortunately, the white supremacists have picked it up and removed the Russian part of it and have just decided big white guys built everything.
It feels like they want to LARP Attack on Titan.
It's pretty fucking bad, man.
Yeah.
But, like, I've actually heard this theory before, back when I used to listen to Mysterious Universe. They talked about this whole conspiracy because there are photos of, like, these old buildings, like, before they were supposed to have been built, surrounded by mud. And I'm like, it's because they were still building. That's, like Mike said, that they hadn't planted the grass yet. So I was fascinated by getting this much more of it. I ended up looking up the Tartarian Empire conspiracy, and it took me straight to the new chronology. I was like, oh, joy. We're back to this again.
This is really dumb. Like, you've outdone yourself. This is, like, really dumb.
It is intensely stupid.
Yes.
The fact that white supremacists have latched onto this is what really kind of blows my mind.
Yeah, no, it's quite a thing,
isn't it? I
don't see why white supremacists are latching onto this, because a lot of the buildings they're naming were built by white people.
Yeah, I know, but they're saying it's basically an entire race of, you know what? Never mind. I'm not gonna say who I was gonna say, but it's a giant race of giant white guys. I don't know, man. I don't understand it. It's like, I don't know. I hope that one of them starts claiming that the Bass Pro Pyramid in Memphis was built by the same race.
Oh, yeah, it's been there forever, didn't you know?
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm. Yep. Nope. Is there when the Native Americans were on the Mississippi?
Yeah. Don't you remember all those drawings they did of it?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the Bass Pro Shop, first Native American business.
Yep, that's true.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. It was founded by a warrior named Saves-a-Lot. Yeah, I don't know. So that was incredibly dumb, and I am not even going to apologize because I felt like we needed to get that out there because it relates to one of our most popular episodes because goddamn.
Yeah.
So, anyway, y'all Thunderdome for who's going to go next.
Witness me.
Yeah. What you got, Mike?
So, my first one. So we've talked a lot about balloons on the show before.
We have. We're so balloonatics.
There's new balloon news.
This
week. A country has flown balloons into another country for propaganda purposes, which happens all the time. Okay,
sure.
So these are North and South Korea.
Okay.
And both of them use balloons both ways for propaganda. Usually, leaflets, things like that. But
I like to think the ones from South Korea just have like a turkey leg hanging from them.
yeah. So, but I guess North Korea was tired of just, words. So North Korea resorts to floating poop and garbage filled balloons over to South Korea.
Now, are they doing that because they ran out of literally everything else?
That's right. The guys were all worried about having nuclear bombs or dropping poop on people.
That is very medieval.
Well,
Yeah.
okay, here's the thing. Like, they could still have nuclear weapons and still be dicks enough to, like, drop poop on people. You know what I mean?
That's fair.
Like, if you're, I mean, there's no reason stopping, like, a dictator from also, like, hurling shit through a trebuchet at the populace. I mean, there's no...
Yeah.
I feel like that'd be the more fun option anyway.
Yeah.
So, South Korea's defense ministry told NBC News that North Korea had also disrupted GPS frequencies in the de facto sea border between the two countries. These acts by North Korea violate international law and threaten our people's safety, said South Korea's Joint Chiefs of Staff, urging North Korea to cease its, quote, inhumane and vulgar behaviors immediately.
It's pretty bad.
The barrage follows as a warning from North Korea's vice defense minister about a tit-for-tat action after anti-Pyongyang leaflets were sent over the border recently by South Korean activists. So the activists sent about 20 balloons carrying anti-Pyongyang leaflets as well as thumb drives with K-pop music and South Korean media.
That would do it. The K-pop would get them.
In response, North Korea sent over 200 balloons filled with old bits of shoes and garbage as well as simply marked excrement.
Poop.
Korean officials advised the public to avoid such balloons
Oh, thank God for that one.
and contact authorities immediately if spotted.
So they sent them K-pop, and North Korea sent back shit.
Yes, I think that was not an equivalent exchange.
Is that like a statement on what they thought of the K-pop?
What the government thinks of it, yes. I'm
Okay.
pretty sure the people that were lucky enough to find it, well, they had two choices. They're either, ignore it or turn it over, or, if they keep it, they'll probably get executed.
Like, this is a conflict that has raged over half a century. Now we're at the stage where they're just kind of, like, airdropping, like, toilet paper and bags of shit over each other. It's wild.
I mean, it's kind of weird because, it's one-sided because South Korea is all like, hey, these people are bad for you. We feel bad for you. And North Korea is like, shut the fuck up. You fucking suck. Here's some poop.
Poop!
Here, we want you to be better people. Yeah, here, have some shit.
Damn. That's
Some of our literal garbage.
That's fucked.
Here's the offcuts of the shoes from our sweatshops.
Damn.
Well,
So,
at least they have garbage and food scraps, you know what I mean? Like, that people are getting fed, apparently, so that's good.
No, I'm pretty sure this was like the food scraps from the like generals' tables and stuff, but that
Fuck.
Other people are still going hungry.
Can you imagine being a general? Like, you're basically doing as well as you can in North Korea, and then the great leader comes to you and it's like, I need you to shit in a balloon.
I'm pretty sure they just went out to they got their like slaves, citizens, to poop in a bag.
Well, here's a question. If you were gonna send like a USB thumb drive over the border to North Korea, what would you have on it?
Well, I wouldn't be guaranteed that they would be able to read it.
Well, assuming they could read it and everything.
Access it. I don't know. Waluigi porn.
Damn, Mike. How about you, Dave?
Wah.
That was just a joke. I don't know.
Oh, okay. Damn, I thought you were serious.
Yeah, just because I want to, like, blow some minds, the first season of Don't Hug Me, I'm Scared, just to see how they process it.
Oh my God. You want to end the civilization. I gotcha.
No.
Okay,
Just like,
Mike.
if give me an opportunity and I'll send them something disturbing.
Sure.
Yeah.
Okay, Mike, then. If not, Waluigi porn.
Wow.
No, that's what I'm saying. That's why I
Oh.
said something flippant, because I didn't have a real answer.
Okay.
What would
I'd
you
just
send,
send
Kevin?
An entire season of Perfect Strangers.
I just don't think anything would matter, and or anyone would actually watch it.
I don't know. I just feel like
I said, they would be too afraid to actually keep it for themselves, because they would get literally executed if they were caught with it.
I just think it would be nice to send them the funny and wholesome adventures of Balky and Larry.
Well, and it's a good metaphor for what they're dealing with, because they really are perfect strangers because of that DMZ right now.
And they're all kind of Balky in a way.
Yeah, they can
that
learn a
mean?
lot from that.
Yeah, I don't know. That was me. That's just my thoughts. Send them Perfect Strangers. Something from TGIF.
So,
I don't know. I think the North would be like Cousin Larry, because he's just kind of short and mean, whereas Balky's tall and just easygoing.
So Mike
more like the South
sends
Korean.
weird cartoon porn. I send disturbing puppet shows.
And I send them the wholesome adventures of two guys living in Chicago.
There we go.
Somehow, this doesn't feel like we're in our own characters,
Yeah,
but still.
good thing we're not diplomats. I'll just put that out there.
Yeah. Yep. That would suck. So, do you have anything else on that, Mike? Was there any more to that?
Not really. It's just, the article just goes on to talk about, basically that.
Gas-filled poop bags, which is what I've been called before.
Yeah.
Talk about
Cool.
a shitty situation.
Oh, that's terrible.
Yeah.
So, David, what have you got for us?
Oh, certainly not bags of poop soaring through the sky. That's for sure.
That's good.
So, I've got a article this week from Futurism under their Neoscope banner. I tend to go to these guys a lot. This is by Sharon Darlow. Scientists connect 16 mini brains made of human tissue to create a, quote, living computer. It's like a 21st century version of Frankenstein's monster.
I was going to say it sounds like a meat version of what they did with the those PS2s.
It's a meat calculator. Let's see. Okay. Switzerland-based startup Final Spark claims to have built a unique computer processor made from 16 mini brains made from human brain tissue, Tom's Hardware reports, and they're positioning this, quote, living computer as an alternative to silicon-based computing. Which, this just sounds like something Vault-Tec would do.
Yeah.
Yeah. And now other researchers can remotely access the startup's biocomputer, the Neuro platform. This just sounds like dystopian as fuck. To conduct studies on, say, artificial intelligence, which typically requires enormous resources. Quote, one of the biggest advantages of biological computing is that neurons compute information with much less energy than digital computers. Final Spark scientist and strategic advisor Elwina Curtis wrote in a company blog post earlier this month. Quote, it is estimated that living neurons can use over 1 million times less energy than the current digital processors we use. Okay. The startup takes brain organoids, small samples of human brain tissue derived from neural stem cells, and places them in a special environment that keeps these organoids alive. They then hook up these mini brains to specialized electrodes to perform computer processing and digital analog conversions to transform neural activity into digital information. The concept of living computers has been around for quite some time now. Last year, for instance, scientists hooked up neurons to electrical circuits, resulting in a device that can perform voice recognition. Let's see. These unusual machines have some noteworthy advantages over their silicon-based counterparts, including a significantly smaller carbon footprint. Quote, this is one of the reasons why using living neurons for computations is such a compelling opportunity, Curtis said. Apart from possible improvements in AI model generalization, we can also reduce greenhouse emissions without sacrificing technological progress. So, yeah. human computer.
See, they keep calling them mini brains, but they're just, samples of brain tissue. It's not a mini brain.
Well, I mean, it's got the neurons in it.
It's neurons, but it's just bits. It's like having, a bit of my liver and calling it a mini liver. No, it's just a slice of the liver. I mean, it's literally just, sounds like sample, small bits. Because it doesn't say how many neurons they're using.
Yeah.
I was just going to say I'm really glad it wasn't just a bunch of brains in jars like I was picturing.
Well, no, that's because you have to wire each neuron up, and we don't really know. So this does sound interesting in that right now for neural networks, we're basically just like emulating it. We're running programs on traditional computers, or like basically beefed up GPUs. We're just running math that simulates how neurons work.
Right.
Because neurons, they aren't binary like our computers are. They have a. I'm trying to remember exactly how that works. It's a different type of logic. So, basically we're making computers do something they were never designed to do. And some computers and some parts like the GPUs are better at doing it than others, but they're still, wasting tons of energy. It's like, trying to emulate anything. It's always going to be more efficient to do it on the original hardware.
Yeah.
So,
well,
yeah, I mean, it sounds a little dystopian, yes, but Kevin, the other day you had said something about, mentioned Moore's Law. And
right, yeah.
We're a really current silicon-based binary chips we're running into diminishing returns. We're making them so small, like they're defined by like how small you can make each individual transistors. It's called the gate size.
Right.
And I think right now the best processes we're doing is like 3 nanometers or something. And we're starting to get into territories where they have to develop new like dielectric coatings and stuff because the electrons are literally just escaping at that size. The electrons just disappear or migrate to other parts of the chip, which obviously isn't good because they're not doing the work you want them to do. So we're just hitting we're not hit a wall yet, but it is a plateauing. Like you think about it, a computer from 5, 6, 7 years ago is still usable nowadays.
Yeah.
Whereas, in the early 2000s, like you were in 2005 trying to use a 2000s era computer, it's like this thing's ancient.
Yeah.
So we're just, hit and we need a new technology. This might be it. This might not be it. There's also work in things like, quantum computers and photonic computers. So everyone's still trying to find that next thing to replace, silicon and binary logic.
Well, here at Flesh Tech, we believe that a mind is a terrible thing to waste.
Oh.
And we have a blueprint with brains that we know works. Now we know also that they don't work, that well sometimes, but
yeah, look at mine.
Definitely,
I'm just like the pessimistic side of me is just thinking one day it's going to be like a mad scientist. It's like grabbing brains and like raw dogging cables into them and networking them together.
God.
Like this is the brain computer.
Yeah, call me when we start doing mentats.
Well, we'd have to go through the Butlerian Jihad first.
I'm down.
Make no machine in the likeness of man. Like, does this qualify? What would Paul Atreides think?
No, I mean, these are just, like I said, just bits of brain.
Yeah. It's just a little piece of human flesh. There's no There's no issue with that.
And they're using human, but I don't see anything specifically why it has to be. It could be rat brain or whatever. I've seen other news stories of companies that are experimenting with rat brains and things like that. I don't think there's anything very special about human neurons compared to other neurons. We just have a lot more of them. If I'm, I could be wrong about that.
Could you do pigs?
Yeah, I mean, I don't see why not. Anything that's got a brain.
Neat.
So, who is that? Who's that did the If I Only Had a Brain
Scarecrow?
rap song?
MC 900
MC
Foot
900
Jesus.
Foot Jesus, that's right. MC Scarecrow.
Oh, man.
But yeah, no, I don't find it horrifying, but yeah, it does start to bring some ethical concerns depending on, how much of a brain you use.
I'm just wondering, can, my brain run Crisis?
Yes, but,
I know it can fucking run Doom, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. I can't wait for someone to get Doom running on a person.
Problem is, he would just go insane and then actually think he's the Doom guy and start killing everybody. While doing that the whole time. But no, I mean, you think about your dreams. You could just have a dream of Crisis. That'd be running Crisis.
I've had dreams of Tetris.
Yeah, the Tetris effect, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a legitimate thing.
Do you have dreams of Electric Sheep?
No. I've never actually dreamed of sheep. I've never counted sheep either, so I don't know that it actually works.
Have you counted crows?
Yeah, but it was a long December.
Jesus Christ. No, I've never counted sheep, but there were goats named Black Phillip 1 through 999 who kept popping up.
What the fuck?
The 9-headed goat with 1,000,000 eyes.
Ah.
Yes.
Not the black goat of the wood with 1,000 young.
There we go. So yeah, human brain. Computer.
Nice.
Yeah.
Let's see how Newegg does with that.
God.
Isn't this how the computer on the Voyager worked? In Star Trek Voyager, they had neural packs or something.
Yeah, it was a
neural
prototype bio computer.
And don't you love how that never played out in the show ever once, except for the one time it got a cold or something?
Because of Neelix's cheese.
That's kind of the way you want things, though. If the technology works, you don't want it to be obtrusive.
Now I'm just thinking of the Voyager just kind of screaming silently to itself every time it has to go to warp.
It wasn't sentient.
Oh.
Well, did it become sentient at one point?
No, but the Enterprise did multiple times.
Right. Well, Kevin, that's like saying, they only ever use the saucer separation a couple of times.
Yeah. I'm still mad about that.
Well, it's just one of those
No,
things.
what I'm actually mad about is they never used the captain's yacht.
Oh, yeah. Everybody's mad about that. But it should have been called the captain's gig.
I know that. I read the book, too. We're nerds. So, David, thank you for that.
Of course.
And believe it or not, it's time for a break. We kind of burned through those.
We're taking a break. We're having a break.
We're taking a break.
But do I get to see other people?
We're not going into that kind of break,
If I hear
Mike.
you on another podcast, I will kill you and then myself.
Oh, David, I got bad news about me then.
No, I expect you. We have an understanding.
David's
I am
a jealous lover.
I am a pod whore. All right. Well, that being said, we will be right back after this. Hi, everyone. This is Kevin from Supernatural Selection. Are you an independent creator? Do you have a webcomic or an Etsy store? Do you 3D print things? Or are you just looking to get some word out for your Discordian cabal with social terrorism? Well, we'd love to help. And David, I believe you've got some details about how we can help.
Why, certainly. If you go to supernaturalselectionpod.com, supernaturalselectionpod.com/contact, that is supernaturalselectionpod.com/contact, you can learn how to advertise with us.
That's right. I believe the rate is $2 per episode. You can't beat that with a stick.
I mean, trust me, we've tried.
Yeah, that's cheap. That's literally cheaper than dirt.
Mm-hmm. And best of all, if you're not sure how to write an ad, we'll do it for you. We'll even record it.
Absolutely. Just let us know what you need in the ad, and we'll be happy to do that for you.
And again, that URL is supernaturalselectionpod.com/contact.
And now, back to the show. And we're back. And, yeah, so we had some very intensely stupid things we discussed last half.
Mm-hmm.
So we're going to launch into this next bit. My last story is from thedailymail.com.
Speaking of intensely stupid.
Yep, dailymail.co.uk. Exclusive. The article is by Rebecca Camber. Probably read from her before. It's published May 19th, 2024. Article titled, White Witch of Rye, Barrister, 42, faces jail for harassing wizard, 82, after she, quote, took control of his bank account and what he ate, drank, and wore. Wizard crimes.
You don't hear about that enough.
No, you don't, which is the whole reason when I saw this, I was like, sold. Now, what is a barrister, real quick?
It's a British lawyer.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
They wear the wigs.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Okay, so a barrister, known as the White Witch of Rye, is facing jail for harassing a wizard after battering her way into his home. Barbara Mora Lane, 42, is said to have become obsessed with self-proclaimed wizard Alfred Douglas after signing up for a magic course. Mr. Douglas, 82, is a world-renowned expert on tarot cards and the occult, and even advised the late actor Peter Sellers. This is a bunch of turns I wasn't expecting on this road.
The fucking Pink Panther?
Yeah, indeed. Inspector Clouseau himself. Lane admitted harassment and criminal damage after breaking into Mr. Douglas's home and smashing a glass door and a greenhouse.
Now, why didn't his warning spells work?
Because he didn't see it coming in the tarot. She also deluged the author with phone calls and texts, leading to a stalking charge. The legal editorial associate, who works for media company Thomson Reuters, first visited the wizard's home in Rye, East Sussex, on the pretext of seeing his library on the occult.
Now, was his home a tower?
If it's not, it's a crime. Oh, my God. Okay, so in 2020, she persuaded him to let her stay, claiming she had nowhere to live after her father died and mother suffered a stroke. But
She's a fucking lawyer.
I know that. This is insane. But soon, friends and family raised concerns that the elderly widower appeared to be falling under her spell. Ironic. Mr. Douglas's nephew, Paul Wilson Patterson, recalled, they became inseparable. She had his bank card and control of his bank account. This is bad. She controlled what he ate, what he drank, the clothes he wore, who he saw, and when he saw them. Lane, nicknamed locally as the White Witch of Rye, which, damn, is said to have lied to locals about being his carer. I would have said caretaker,
Well,
but okay.
The British have different words.
Yes, they do, and some of them work. Falsely suggesting the academic was senile. She also allegedly isolated him from friends. Mr. Douglas was later to tell police that he felt intimidated by her coercive behavior as Lane often told him he was old, sick, and dying, even kicking his calves to get him to move quicker.
What the fuck?
That's not magic.
Well, if I ever meet a wizard in real life and I had to take him down, I'd just kick him in the fucking leg.
There you go. Where was I?
Kicking him in the calves.
Yep. Yes. Okay. Relatives' fears grew when Lane began to fly into drunken rages, smashing crockery at his home after downing mugfuls of gin. Mugfuls of gin. You're having a bad day.
Yeah.
Mr. Wilson Patterson was horrified to discover his uncle had changed his will, making Lane the sole beneficiary of his home and shop, worth about 1.5 million pounds. He said, Mara was prone to these ferocious rages and would go around smashing glassware, ceramics, and things in the house. Alfred was terrified, but he didn't know what to do. Not much of a wizard.
Right, yeah. I mean, just fucking banish her to the negative zone or something. Fuck.
Just a negative zone. That's Superman. He said his uncle eventually had big bolts put on his bedroom door to protect himself. Mr. Douglas later told officers he had to wedge a chair and piles of books against the door after Lane broke the lock by battering her way into his bedroom one night.
So here's the issue with this whole situation. This is just elder abuse, and it happens everywhere, but the only reason we're talking about it is because one person's a fucking wizard, and the other person's called a witch.
Yeah. Yeah, pretty much. Also, battered the fuck... Is she a Wookiee?
Oh, man.
Oh, my God. He described how...
She cast third-level knock.
Oh, wow. That's fucked. Knock +1 for when knock isn't enough. He described how she stood at the foot of his bed, smirking, before throwing books at him.
Knowledge is power.
Apparently. Despite this attack, in March of last year, he decided not to call police. Yeah, this is bad. But relatives feared for his life. Like you fucking should. Mr. Wilson Patterson's wife, Anna, said, "We thought we'd visit and find him dead at the bottom of the stairs."
Fuck.
She was like a succubus. Things came to a head on Coronation Day last May when Lane, an Irish Republican, flew into a rage on seeing a portrait of the King and Union Jack bunting in Mr. Douglas's shop. Wow. She is said to have punched the elderly shop manager before turning on Mr. Douglas, smashing up his greenhouse, and pushing him out of his home.
Now who says martial classes can't attack magic users?
Yeah, no kidding. Yeah, wizard your way out of a pierced gullet.
Jesus Christ.
When his family arrived to help, Lane is alleged to have hit Mr. Wilson Patterson and thrown hot tea over his wife. She then smashed a glass pane on Mr. Douglas's front door. Oh, my God. Unrepentant, Lane told police she was his carer and was owed 6,000 pounds. But she has now been... But she has now been charged with 7 offenses, including stalking, criminal damage, and assault of Mr. Douglas and his family. On the first day of her trial on Monday at Brighton Magistrates Court, Lane pleaded guilty to harassment without violence and criminal damage. Judge David Rennie warned Lane she could be jailed. He ordered that the remaining charges lay on file. Lane was released on bail ahead of sentencing on July 5th. So, wizard abuse.
I'd almost be afraid to send her to jail because she'd pull like a Rorschach from watching me like, no, you're trapped in here with me.
Yeah, no kidding.
Yeah,
I wouldn't go to...
Just horrifying.
Yeah, no.
But, the whole reason we're talking about it is because apparently it's a fucking wizard and a witch.
Yep. No, I mean, seriously.
Note to self, don't become a wizard.
This just makes me want to cover magic. Like, we're going to cover magic,
Yeah.
and I think this is sealing the deal.
This is like how Doctor Who has gone all woo-woo.
Yeah.
This is the beginning of us going woo-woo.
Yeah, understanding, like, the thought process of magical thinking explains a lot of this.
Yeah, no, that was chaos magic that
She
got her
literally
in the home.
just kind of rewrote a reality to where she was in charge of the guy.
No, it's called gaslighting. That's not magic. That's just human freaking...
Gaslighting can be magic.
No, that's
It's
just how
shitty
human
magic.
brains work. I'm sorry. It's not magic. That's just human brain.
We're going to do our magic series, and Mike's going to, go full into it. He's going to start masturbating over sigils. It's going to be great.
Oh, hell no.
Yep. He's going to get some robes. He's going to borrow my wizard staff.
Get some tea lights, set them up, and just, start casting spells. He's going to get a fucking wand.
It's got to be fun.
Yeah.
I can't wait for Mike to be a wizard.
Yeah, that's not happening.
Yeah, I figured, but still, yeah, I tried it. I don't recommend it.
Because it don't work.
Well, nothing good happened. That's for damn sure.
Any happenings you saw from it were purely coincidental, or at worst, your subconsciously of your own making.
I feel like I'm still dealing with the consequences, but we'll move on. But anyway, that was my second story. Mike, what have you got for us? I hope it's not dead animals or beating old people.
So, in this story, we have beaten old people, kill animals.
God damn it.
Someone's beating an old man with a dead horse.
The medieval disease that killed thousands of people and then vanished from history.
Oh, that's interesting.
Known for killing people within a day of symptoms starting, the true origins of the quote sweats that plagued the 1500s remain unknown to this day.
Is that like the vapors?
Death and illness have never been strangers to humanity. But for a brief time around the 1500s, there was one particular ailment that was both brutal in its devastation and completely unpredictable to medical practitioners of the time. This malady was known as sweating sickness, or even today, scientists don't know where it came from, why it seems to suddenly leave, and whether it could ever return again. Much of what we know about sweating sickness comes from the writings of British physician John Caius, Caius, who was at ground zero of the last big outbreak that occurred in Shrewsbury, England in 1551.
What the fuck is up with British town names?
Shrewsbury.
Shrewsbury. Goosington.
Not Barry, but
Stumblebumblyshire.
I think I said Barry the first time, but it's actually Bury.
Hertfordshire.
URY.
Just ridiculous.
Shires and Burries and...
Get real town names.
Thumblebumblestankets.
It's now thought that there were at least 5 major sweating sickness epidemics throughout England and some parts of Europe, with the first recorded in 1485. Some researchers have also argued that 2 smaller outbreaks may have occurred in 1578 and 1802. The intense episodes of perspiration that victims experienced obviously gave rise to the disease's name, which was also known as the sweats. But the sweating was commonly preceded by chills, headaches, severe exhaustion, and pain around the limbs and shoulders. One striking feature was how rapidly people fell ill, with the sweat seeming to arrive within hours of the first symptoms.
So like how I feel tonight.
Yeah.
Shit.
All but one of the documented epidemics had a high mortality rates, with as many as 50% of victims dying. But if people made it through the first day of sweating, they would typically survive. But even this wasn't a complete reprieve, since some people were unfortunate enough to catch it multiple times.
Damn.
The disease did seem to have its limitations, as outbreaks often swept across a region and ended within a few weeks. Adding to the mystery is that outbreaks of sweating also showed up throughout France in the 18th and 19th century, which came to be blamed on a disease called Picardy sweat.
But wait, like the drink?
Picardy, as in the captain.
Oh, okay. I was thinking of Bacardi.
You're thinking of Pocari sweat.
That's right.
Yeah, no, Picardy, as in what he gets when the Borg are, flying up his ass.
Sweats Earl Grey hot.
The original outbreaks of sweating sickness never reached this region of Europe, and the described symptoms of Picardy sweat don't completely align with sweating sickness, tending to be milder and commonly featuring a rash that could last up to a week. So it's not clear if the two illnesses are even related. It would take centuries more for scientists to widely accept the existence of microorganisms and that they could cause contagious illnesses like sweating sickness. Caius, for his part, assumed that filth was responsible for it, which is Caius, if you don't remember, is the original person that described it. But though we've been able to concretely tie many epidemics of the past to now known germs like plague, typhus, and influenza, the identities of sweating sickness and Picardy sweat have eluded us to this day. Scientists have posited a wide array of potential culprits for the sweats. These include species of Borrelia bacteria? I don't know.
Sure.
Borrelia bacteria spread by ticks and lice that can cause relapsing fever, hantavirus, typically spread by rodents, and even an inhaled form of the bacterial disease anthrax. But the established description of the sweats, particularly in its rapidly worsening progression and quick disappearing act from an afflicted area, don't quite match up to any one germ, at least not enough to declare an open and shut case based on circumstantial evidence alone. In a 2022 paper, virologist Antoinette C. van der Kuil speculated about another possible suspect, an unknown species of rabidovirus, part of the same broad family that rabies virus belonged to. Van der Kuil also offered a potential way to definitely solve the mystery of sweating sickness. Okay, we're going to talk about that. She noted that Caius's description of the 1551 outbreak blames sweating sickness for the deaths of the 15-year-old Duke of Suffolk, Henry Brandon, and his younger brother, Charles. Since their graves are still around today, their remains, quote, could possibly be subjected to ancient DNA analysis, she wrote. But even such an excavation could be carried out right now. It might not be smart to do just yet. According to van der Kuil, current technologies aren't optimized enough to efficiently analyze ancient samples of RNA viruses from the bone and teeth, including most but not necessarily all potential rabidoviruses that might be lingering within the bodies of the Brandon brothers. For now, the origins of sweating sickness remain a mystery, leaving scientists and medical historians with much to ponder. Hopefully, sweating sickness will remain a historical curiosity and never become a contemporary health threat. Yeah, the recent COVID-19 pandemics have certainly shown that infectious diseases continue to be a danger even in the era of modern medicine. Last thing we need is the reemergence of a fast-killing mystery sickness from the past.
Here's a theory. It's 3 diseases in a trench coat.
Well, could be.
Just that's the only thing that I can think of about that. That's kind of creepy.
Yeah, no, I came across that just this evening, and I was like, oh, that sounds like something we should talk about.
Well, it's no dancing madness, I'll tell you that much. That one you'll work up a sweat too, but at least you know.
Yeah, just
fever.
Just your shoulders get sore, you just start sweating, and then you die.
Yeah,
that's just
Yep.
And quickly too, like a couple days.
Like that happens to me like once a week. Why am I not dead yet?
Lucky? I guess.
I don't know. It's like, yeah, no. I mean, that all that sounds very, very familiar. Man.
Wow.
Ancient disease.
Indeed. Ancient sweats.
Like the rabies thing.
Ooh,
I find most interesting.
Maybe it was just like a really fatal form of the meat sweats. That was before they had the meat sweats figured out.
Interesting.
Well, I mean, when you think about like the Black Plague and stuff, which was around that time, you had the it wasn't from the rats. It was the fleas on the rats and the vermin. So it could be, like if we're looking like animal transmission, that would make a lot of sense. Like it'd be weird. Like I wonder how simultaneous these outbreaks were.
They seem to like just kind of sweep through an area and leave after a couple of weeks.
Yeah.
So,
Can you imagine how much it would suck to be in a village like 1 week it's the sweats, the next week it's the plague, and then the third week it's dancing madness.
Could have been like something from birds, like could have been migratory.
Are you saying it's cosmic death fungus?
No, just something from a migratory species, like say birds not birds on fleas on birds,
or an unladen swallow.
Yeah.
Well, birds aren't real, so.
Oh.
True.
Yeah. No, it's probably just cosmic death fungus. Yeah, we figured it out. It's cosmic death fungus. Make sure that you take lots of essential oils and shit out your stomach lining.
Can I just like boof the essential oils?
I mean, that's all you, buddy.
Yeah.
I feel like I wouldn't like drinking them, but I think I could tolerate enemaing them. Would that get rid of the cosmic death fungus?
I don't know.
You know what? Try it and let's find out.
Okay, I'll report back.
Yep. You go shit like a goose, and we'll see what happens.
I can get 5 gallons of essential oils.
Michaels.
My anus has become a luge. It's so well. It's so
oh, God.
Well.
I'd go to sit down on a chair and just fly off.
Your intestines come out of your body. Just Jesus.
Mike, you're gonna look like when the shuttle launches.
Ever told? I know I've told Kevin about this, David, but I ever told you about my concept of humans are basically just a donut?
I could see how. I don't think you've ever mentioned.
Just got a hole down the middle.
Yeah.
Yep.
Just a very long, circuitous, and
I would hate. Hole. I would hate to meet the human who's the donut hole.
So if your intestines come out, if you're shitting your intestines out, if they haven't come unconnected from your stomach, that means you're just turning inside out.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Wow. Gross.
That would be a great visual.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sure. Why not?
Hey, that's my line.
I didn't know that had a specific.
Well, I mean, I say it all the time.
Are we starting to claim catchphrases now? Is that where we're going with this?
Copyright.
Sure. Why not?
We'll each create a catchphrase T-shirt, put them up, and whoever makes the most money wins. There we go.
Don't touch my butt. That's original phrase. Do not steal.
Please touch my butt.
Do steal.
Human donut.
Oh, God. So, who's next? Was it David?
I guess.
David, you're next?
Yeah.
What's your last one?
Okay, so I got this one from New Atlas. This was published on the 28th by Bronwyn Thompson. World first tooth regrowing drug will be given to humans in September.
Fuck yeah.
Wait, first what growing drug?
Tooth regrowing.
Gimme.
So, let's see.
I think I reported about this before, a couple years ago, where they were talking about it in Japan.
Yeah, and there is a reference to that Japanese story. So, yeah, we've got this kind of, update on something we've covered before.
Again.
So, the world's first human trial of a drug that can regenerate teeth will begin in a few months, less than a year on from the news of its success in animals. This paves the way for medicine to be commercially available as early as 2030. So hold on, guys. We're almost there.
Woo!
How fucked up are your guys' teeth? Because mine are
bad.
pretty... Yeah, my teeth are pretty fucked up right now.
I envy the British.
Yeah. That's the thing about the American healthcare system, if I can get political for a minute, is dental care is not included generally.
So I've looked at dental plans that are included with
Lisa needs braces.
with healthcare plans, and they're all garbage. It's like if you spend any amount of money, like, say $300 or something in a year, everything else is out of pocket. It doesn't have,
Yeah.
cutoffs and, all that stuff like the regular medical plans do. Like medical plans have a maximum amount of pocket you pay.
Mm-hmm.
And then after that, it's covered by the insurance. Whereas a dental is just shit. It'll it's the opposite. It'll cover like up to like $500 or something like that. Sometimes it's even as low as like $200, and everything after that is out of pocket.
Like I feel like a lot of health issues could be avoided if people had access to like
Oh, no.
quality dental care, man.
Well, dental care
man.
and just, medical care in general. I've seen studies that say that, while yes, people with like, if everybody had health coverage, they would be going to the doctors more.
Good.
But it would be saving on the back end versus, all the people that are, end up in the emergency room when problems have gone from being something easily clinically treated to a big ass problem that now costs, multiple thousands of dollars to treat.
Yeah.
Where, a $50, doctor's visit, paid for with insurance and like a couple of pills could have like prevented that.
Mm-hmm. Well, and just how many like conditions can be like cut off at the pass, like that are related to like tooth issues,
Yeah, no.
dental problems. It's that's one thing. Like it's quite upsetting. It's quite upsetting.
Yes.
Anyway,
Yep.
Let's get to some happy news here. So the trial, which will take place at Kyoto University Hospital from September to August 2025, will treat 30 males aged 30 to 64 who are missing at least one molar. The intravenous treatment will be tested for its efficacy on human dentition after it successfully grew new teeth in ferret and mouse models with no significant side effects. Quote, "We want to do something to help those who are suffering from tooth loss or absence," said lead researcher Katsu Takahashi, head of the dentistry and oral surgery at Kitano Hospital. Quote, "While there has been no treatment to date providing a permanent cure, we feel that people's expectations for tooth growth are high." So, following this 11-month first stage, the researchers will then trial the drug on patients aged 2 to 7 who are missing at least 4 teeth due to congenital tooth deficiency, which is estimated to affect 1% of people. The team is recruiting for this Phase 2A trial now. Researchers are looking for an expanded trial to those with partial endodentism or people missing 1 to 5 permanent teeth due to environmental factors. The incidence of this varies from country to country, but it's estimated around 5% of Americans are missing teeth, with much higher incidence among older adults. The medicine itself deactivates the uterine sensation-associated gene protein, which suppresses tooth growth. As we reported in 2023, blocking USAG1, that's the gene, blocking USAG1's interaction with other proteins encourages bone morphogenic protein signaling, which triggers new bone to generate. It resulted in new teeth emerging in the mouths of mice and ferrets, species that share close to the same USAG1 properties as humans. So, molecular biologist and dentist Takahashi has been working on tooth regeneration since 2005 and hopes this treatment won't just be for congenital dental conditions, but for anyone who has lost any teeth at any age. If this happens, this guy's a hero.
Yeah, no, this will be great.
Like, this is like that, like, the shit that you want them to give Nobel Peace Prizes out for. Like, this dude has fixed teeth forever.
Yeah.
Just wild, man.
Yeah. Look, at this point, I don't care if the teeth are growing out of my forehead. I'll take them.
Yeah, like, if I have to
I
grow
would
a
mind.
tooth on my shoulder and then they put it back in my mouth, that's fine. I'm down for it. Give me new teeth.
Yeah. No, same here.
And then we can move into, like, an Warhammer orc culture. Where teeth are the new currency.
I'm down.
Yep. So that's all I got.
Yeah. I was trying to find it. That story reminded me. I saw some other news story, but It was about basically one of those, another claim of like, in such and such years we could have immortality.
Mm.
Let me see if I can find it.
Well, I mean, at least we've got the potential of by 2030 being able to get some teeth back. Because I have a couple of teeth that are fucked up right now.
Oh yeah, no, I'm excited at the prospect.
Yeah. You know, if your teeth are fucked up, email at us, team@supernaturalselectionpodcast.com, and let us know.
Yeah, we can't help you, but you know
we will sympathize. We'll empathize.
Yep, there's nothing we can do.
We will talk
say,
about
yep,
your
sucks.
fucked up teeth on Weak and Weird.
Yep. And between we'll talk about it between discussions of like Superhuman Samurai Cyber Squad or something.
I found the thing. It's just some Google engineer saying that it could be attainable by 2030.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Sure. But,
is it the same Google engineer who fell in love with a computer?
No, different one.
Oh, okay.
Oh, good. Because
the one in the
I don't
top
want to
hat?
trust that guy. God, that. Anyway.
Yeah.
So, David.
Yeah.
You got a segment for us this week, don't you?
Yep. X is gonna give it to us.
So. Hell yeah, we need a theme.
Yeah, we'll figure that out. So, it could just be the X-Men no thing. Yeah, we can do that.
Yeah, sure.
There we go. Yeah. So this is a very short thread, but the message is very like cryptic and weird, and yeah, it's gonna be fun. So as always, this is I go to 4chan's paranormal board, which is the third worst board on the website.
I don't want to know what the other two are.
I'm still creating the rankings. All I know is this is a firm number 3.
Okay.
So the thread I have chosen, the accompanying picture is just a blue square. The subject line is last one, I choose blue for the new dawn. And I'm just going to go ahead and read the post. Here we go.
Okay.
It's a yes. Can't contact you directly, but it's a yes. Pompey, Magnus, and Herod will lighten up and all entities. My will and my choice, which will give purpose for a blue union. Don't be a hypocrite. I'm not a mule, but an active decision maker. Haven't you read John Milton? That's what I want. Lighting someone up is legal and perfect. Hitting and insulting is not. It's the only way. If a man has a talent and can't use it, he's failed. If he uses only half of it, he has partly failed. If he uses the whole of it, he has succeeded and won a satisfaction and triumph few men ever know. For many blue adventures, every man and woman has a different role and reason. But don't expect roses or soccer, expect the same person, just a little better. If I lie, I die. I don't do slave talk. And if you don't like it, then not my problem. I'm giving you peace and union, which is asked of me for me to be able to be blue. And anyone want to decipher this?
No. It was like I was just sitting there listening, going, my brain can't like grasp onto anything. It's like I don't know, it's like trying to grab water with your hands.
Yeah, the only thing I can say for sure is that was English.
Well,
that was English in the same way that Wigwam sings in English.
It's like early machine learning output.
Yeah.
So apparently, I think this poster had 3 replies to himself. So I'm going to go ahead and read those as well.
Wow.
As a final note, the other side's most popular one cruise R is because he never spoke in favor of a cause or Israel or something momentous and has never really insulted anyone. Even if he's a monster, he never really let anyone in it. Frontline spokesmen never survive. All right. Like, there's some legitimately banger lines in a lot of this. Like, frontline spokesmen never survive is legitimately... that goes kind of hard.
I think this guy was on, like, shrooms or something.
Right. Okay, here's the next one. AMLO and Putin pay for it if you don't do it. Always will. So get to it. Bye. Next post. Never mind, I reject your call. Still lighting you and keeping your queen and kicking you from presidency. Bye.
What?
Yes. So.
Yep. That's words.
Yeah,
That is a way to put that.
like, I don't know, like, if there's any meaning behind it, or if it's just some guy having a mental breakdown and posting stuff, but, like, there is some legitimately fun lines in there, though.
You know what I'd like to hear is this read by Tom Waits over a scratchy phone line.
Fuck, dude. Oh, that'd be perfect.
Set to like somebody noodling on like a bass and one of those weird water violins. Yeah, I think I just came up with his next album.
This honestly reads like poetry at times.
A bit, or the ravings of a madman.
Well, I mean, that's what a lot of poetry is.
Sure.
Yeah. But,
I read Kubla Khan, Xanadu, whatever.
Yeah. So, not a whole lot. The only other reply in this thread is someone saying, filters hard, bro, go easy. So, yeah. So, again, not a whole lot to it. That just tells you the quality of the other threads this week. But, that one was just like an enigma wrapped in a puzzle wrapped in garbage.
This is the butcher's paper you used to bring home from the grocery store, wrapped around a turd.
Yeah.
That's it right there.
So
wow.
There you go.
Like, I can't even like really answer or attempt to answer it because there's nothing to answer.
Like, because this is anonymous, I'm literally just going to steal Frontline Spokesman Never Survive and try to work it into something, because that's really good. I like that.
There you go. Well, that's it for this week, guys.
Yeah.
We don't have any questions as far as I know, and I'm just going to say, don't forget to get any submissions turned in for the zine before the end of June 2024. If you would like to see your stuff in, I've begun work on a piece for it myself, so you can share the pages with me. And my Keith Haring inspired piece I'm working on. And here's a little preview of next week. To understand, here's the thing. To understand the basis of the show, you have to understand that we're all God, and none of us know that because iguanas built the moon.
I'm just gonna ignore that.
Somehow that's still a more lucid statement than the garbage that I just read.
Yeah, and it still makes more sense than somehow Palpatine is returned. So, thank you everyone for listening. If you would like to learn more about the show, the zine, or anything else, you can head to supernatpod.rocks. That is supernatpod.rocks. You will find a link to our Discord, our Patreon, our merch store, a complete collection of every episode of this and the Distraction Hole. And you can also contact us if you have information you'd like to share, would like to contact us about advertising, or your submission for the zine. So again, supernatpod.rocks. So that being said, thank you everyone for listening. We will see you in 1 week for the stupidest thing I have ever discussed. So until then, stay safe and stay frosty. Goodbye.
And remember, Frontline Spokesmen never survive. Yeah.
I feel like I'm having a fever dream now.
Yeah, I got nothing. I just literally am sitting here going,
what? Yeah. It killed me. It killed my brain.